Welcome back to Lost for Words with Lori. It is Sunday Fun Day. It is June the 12th. I hope everybody had a great weekend so far. It is Sunday Fun Day, right? So yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. As always, I don't know where to begin. Saying goodbye to toxic cesspool land. I don't even know where to start. Like I said, 7 months ago, I rebranded my channel. My channel was the Power Slave Show. It was with Toby and Lori. We spent 4 years doing internet radio, and it was something that we loved. And Toby died. Toby died of COVID, and I rebranded this channel with a mission. I had a mission to use this platform to try to heal, to try to figure out, I don't know, this is my life now, right? And I got caught up in in toxic cesspool world because of my association to YouTube, because of, Toby doing YouTube and his platform and what he was doing. And yeah, toxic cesspool land began, and the backlash of what had happened when Toby died. And I'm not even going to rehash any of that because it's irrelevant now and I don't care. But I have spent the last 7 months doing podcasts, and a lot of it's been for my own healing and covering a lot of topics and a lot of subjects. And I mean, that's on you guys if you have listened to it or even cared enough to follow the last 7 months of my journey and what I've dealt with and how I've tried to cope with a lot of the issues and the things and the topics that I've covered over the last 7 months on my channel. And toxic cesspool world and the interwebs and social media have been a very big part of that, and the shit show that it involves. And I've spent a great deal of time going through a lot of those podcasts. I've revisited them. I've listened to them, and the topics I've covered. And I've covered quite a lot of topics in the last 7 months because of my proximity and what, the world that I've been immersed in, and the people that I know and my friends that I've made, the acquaintances, the situations, and just being a part of this platform. And it's a wonderful place for me, and it's been a really good experience for me. And it doesn't come without lessons, right? That's what my podcast has been about, is lessons. It's been about my journey. It's been about me learning, and hopefully you all learning along with me. And my last podcast a few days ago, well, it's probably about 4 or 5 days ago, about toxic cesspool world, because, I've been immersed in it, in social media and what's been going on in the shit show and the fucking parade circus of YouTube world and the community that I'm immersed in or have been immersed in, has been a chaotic circus, nightmare, drama fest. And there was peace in the kingdom for a short period of time, and I knew it wasn't going to last long because I'm not a fool, and it's just the nature of the beast, right? And sure enough, it didn't last long, and I'm not surprised, and but frankly, I'm disappointed. I guess is the emotion that I feel the most, is just a great deal of disappointment, because upon listening to the things that I've learned and being able to go back and revisit the things that I've talked about on my platform and the topics I've covered, and I've come to the realization that I've learned a lot. I've learned so much, and therapy and just thinking about all of these things and my own research, and because I'm a critical thinker, and I'm evolving and I'm growing and I'm changing and I'm becoming a better version of myself. And I'm disappointed because it seems like well, because it's apparent, especially after the shit show and the circus that's still going on in toxic cesspool world, even today. And, you know, the war is still going on, and there's still not peace. There's never going to be peace in the kingdom, because the garbage humans are always going to be there, and they're idiots and they're fools, and again, it gets to a point where it becomes laughable at best, and I'm ready. I'm at that point now where, after witnessing the shit show yet again on Toxic Cesspool World, I'm ready to say goodbye. I'm ready to flip both middle fingers in the air and say fuck you all to Toxic Cesspool World. And the reason why is because I've already covered every topic of bad behavior that these people continue to do for the last 7 months. And I could revisit them over and over and just keep calling it out, but it's stale, it's old, and the old adage, you can lead the horse to water and you can't make him drink. And frankly, I'm kind of bored. I'm kind of bored watching the shit show. And like I said, when I rebranded my channel, I had a mission, and that was to try to find some peace, to try to grow, to try to heal. And I'm over it. I'm so over it. And like I've said to many people before, this is totally a them problem. This isn't a me problem. I sit around and I watch because I'm bored, and the drama, frankly, is amusing at times, and it helps me learn, and it helps me teach other people, really, that you don't have to tolerate shit starters and enablers and bootlickers and bottom feeders and clout chasers and all the other bad behavior in Toxic Cesspool World, and that if you can be transparent and communicate, and you can heal, if you learn how to be accountable and learn how to resolve conflicts like adults and stop acting like spoiled victims and children, that you can be a better version of yourself. And I've covered all of this. I've talked extensively about it. I've had numerous conversations. I've made some good friends. I've talked about perspectives and struggles and the truth and facts, and I had a great day today. I had a great weekend. I've had some great moments when I'm unplugged from Toxic Cesspool World. And I'm over watching people draw lines in the sand. I'm over people arguing over who's right and who's wrong, and watching these people bitch and moan and complain about who's friends with who and all their bullshit drama, and arguing over subs and fame, fortune, and glory. And I'm really just done giving energy to people who keep engaging in toxic behavior, enabling bad behavior, I don't know, jockeying for position on the totem pole. Again, I'm not plugging my channel. I've never plugged my channel. I don't give a fuck about it. It was there for me, and it's served its purpose. 7 months of me documenting my thoughts, me documenting truths, me documenting facts, me talking about important things that, if you choose to critically think, you'll see some pretty good things, I think, because it's been pretty eye-opening for me. And I've grown, I've learned, I've evolved, I'm changing, and I'm happy. I'm becoming happier. I'm finding peace. And that's what my journey was about, was how do I grieve? How do I find peace with the tragedy that's happened in my life? And it isn't in Toxic Cesspool World. It's just not. And I have no reason to worry about their problems. I have no reason to worry about their war. I walked away from it. And while it is amusing, it's boring. And it's stupid. And it's childish. And it's immature. And I'm over giving energy to it and the people who continue to immerse themselves in it. And that's a choice that I need to make for me. I think over the last couple of days, I've come to the realization that my self-worth, my mental health, my journey is for me. And it's more important than the circus and the drama and the stupidity that is toxic cesspool world. I've made some good friends. I've made some wonderful friendships. But at the end of the day, social media is not real life. And real life is much more important than this drama that people just can't seem to keep their fucking noses out of, that they can't seem to look away from, and they just keep getting drawn back into. And it causes people so much anxiety, so much depression, so much grief, that they get sucked back into their own vicious cycles, and it's so self-defeating. And I'm not that person. I'm not one of those people who encourages self-defeating behavior. And by watching that drama unfold in toxic cesspool world and allowing it to continually disgust me the way that it has, because it's disgusting watching garbage humans tear each other down day after day, week after week, and be hypocrites and liars and, manipulate and abuse and bully each other on a social media platform that technically should be about fun or growth or, content for that matter. Which is what my platform is. It's content. But again, everybody has their own agenda. My agenda, my mission, I'll put that in air quotes for the cheap seats, was to grow. Was for me. It was my grieving journey. And that is where it is intended to continue. And I will hopefully continue to give lessons and wisdom as I see it. I just think it's time to say goodbye to toxic cesspool world. And what does that look like? What does that mean? I will still have my friends in certain communities and I will still support them. I'm just probably going to be more invisible and less present because toxic cesspool world no longer serves me. And I think the people who respect and love me will understand this, and they will hopefully learn a very valuable lesson in this, and maybe heed or take some unsolicited advice from me and take a really hard look at their own accountability, their own behavior, and am I preaching to the choir? Am I talking shit out my ass? Am I saying one thing and doing another? And how trustworthy is that? And where am I in my own first world versus putting all of my stock in social media? Am I enabling bad behavior? Am I giving energy to people who are engaging in toxic behavior? And how is that affecting me in my first world? And is it helping or is it hurting and hindering my own growth in my first world? I don't find that me watching the drama unfold in toxic cesspool world is actually hindering my mental health in too much of a bad way, but in a lot of ways it is, and it can be damaging. Because I find myself becoming angry like I said in my last podcast, I find myself banging my head against the wall that garbage humans are so stupid that they only care about fame, fortune, and glory, and they continue to treat people like garbage because they're self-serving narcissists and just a bunch of shitheads who have no consequences for their behavior on the internet. And I'm over it, and I don't have to give energy to it, and I'm not going to, and I'm going to continue my mission, and continue to work on the goals that I laid out in the beginning. And I've got plenty of them, and I have people who are willing to help me with that and who are on board and want to continue that journey of healing, which is what this should have been about and what it has been about. And that's what's important to me. So yeah, toxic cesspool world can kiss my fat white ass and see the field of my fucks and see that it is barren. I just don't care. And I haven't for quite some time. I think my amount of caring came from my amount of love for specific people within that community. And because I have no stake in that community, it's really easy for me to just walk away. Again, I will still support those that I do care about, because there are a handful of people that I love dearly in that community who are now part of my first world. And I will continue to support them. I will never abandon them. And I will encourage them, and I will still help them grow. And they'll go places because they have taken to heart the lessons. And they too are grieving. And they too are understanding the importance of being accountable and boundaries and establishing those things and trust and healing from past traumas and moving forward and becoming a better version of themselves, which is all I've ever wanted. And it's what I wanted 5 years ago when I started this journey, and that hasn't changed. And losing my soulmate 7 months ago still doesn't change that mission. And I'm going to continue. So yeah, I am saying goodbye to toxic cesspool world. And I just give no more fucks. And this is totally a them problem now. I still care. I still care deeply for many of those people. But yeah, as of today, I've pretty much decided that I'm over it. I've been over it. And yeah, the war is... There's never going to be peace in the kingdom. Because there is no accountability. There will be no apologies. But I forgive. I forgive all of the garbage humans who have trespassed against me or the people that I care about and continue to manipulate and lie and do all their reindeer games and throw juice boxes at each other in the sandbox, because they're going to continue to do it. And long after they have forgotten about me, and I've pretty much forgotten about them anyway, because they're nothing to me. They don't pay my bills. They have no goals. They have nothing better to do. It's painfully obvious they have nothing better to do than to proliferate in the misery that is their life. I'm going to be better, and I'm going to succeed, and the people that I care about will as well. And that's really, at the end of the day, all that I care about. So I hope you will all continue to have a great weekend. I will continue to update. I have many things in the works for the grieving journey, especially. We started working on the Grieving for Dummies editions, and those are a go. We are going to unwrap the 5 stages of grief. That is a go. We are working on a support group for that. That is how I am going to be a better version of myself. I'm going to share that and hopefully do some good, because that is what I need. I think it's what a lot of people need. They need healing. They need peace. They need support, not hate. And yeah, middle fingers up, bitches. This is my life now. So wash your fucking hands and be a good human. Bye.